you. We got
What's up, Mark?
ALOT. Thanks for
Yeah,
being here. Yo,
it's actually me too. Hey, it's my second channel. Subscribe.
nice. Oh,
My
okay,
life and tone, yeah, that's my vlog stuff. So when I
nice.
comment on here, it comments off my second channel. Not this.
Nice. So I'll find on my guy's channel. We got Ron Boy Bubble. Hey yo, he's very active in our Discord channel. By the way, if you aren't on the TCR Discord, you are missing out. There's a link in the description. We have a great time talking Cardinal stuff in there all the time. We got
I'm
Jaldini.
joining there. I'm gonna join this. Say what's
Dude,
up.
please do. You're welcome to be there, man. You don't have to be a Cardinals fan to be there. We got some there's some other content creators that I've kind of built friendships with who are in there as well. We got Zhao Didi. Thank you for being here. We got Michael Evans. Hi guys. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Yeah, Ron Boyd Bubble saying nice to see the crossover both ways. We got Simon Shee. Thank you for being here. What up, Gang? Nice to finally catch a show. One of our Cardinal fan friends from Canada. So appreciate you hanging out with us, right? I like to call y'all are follow my channel, this, the Cardinals fans who are outside of Arizona. I like to call us the Cardinals diaspora, just kind of all spread out. We got Omar Lopez. Thanks for being here. How's it going, Joe? It's going fantastic. I am thriving, and I thank you for being here. We got JP. What is up? Long time, right? We're glad to be back, though. Corey Cards. How's it going, Joe? It's going great. I saw that you were on the Redbird Red Zone podcast. I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but I'm sure you held it down. Our resident Zaven Collins propagandist. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. All right. Before we get into the talk, I do want to announce something. And if you follow me on Twitter or in the Discord, you've seen this. And I will talk about it, mention it at the end. There is a new live stream I'm going to be doing each week throughout the season. Just going to be launching it. Tomorrow's going to be the first episode. I'm calling it Making the Grade. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be diving into the PFF grades from the Cardinals' most recent game and telling story, kind of what story does the data tell us? Like, I have a background, in quantity. I have a quantitative background in what I do for a living. I'm a sociology professor, so I've studied quantitative stuff, and I understand how to look at data and see what the story's telling us. So each week I'm on this live stream. Now, normally it's going to be on Monday nights, but I wanted to get one in this week. So tomorrow night at 5 o'clock Arizona time, 8 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have the first episode. And my guest is going to be Blake Murphy. Cardinals fans know Blake Murphy. He's been on the stream before here. Great dude. He has kind of a mind for analytics and quantitative stuff as well. So I'm so happy that he's going to join me. So you're getting back-to-back TCR this week, tonight with my friend Tony, and then tomorrow night with Blake Murphy. In future weeks, though, look for the Making the Grade on Monday nights. We're going to just dive into those PFF grades and say, a little bit more about what they're telling us. So my mic is shaky. Is in terms like that, or is the volume Dan, thank you for being here, by the way. When you say shaky, is it the mic's moving or is the volume audio? Please.
The mic is moving a little bit.
If it's the mic moving, it's because I'm just all over the place, man. I'm excited. But okay, it's got this kind of arm thing in its. All right. So yeah, Simon, thank you. Professor, you know what is best? Putting in the overtime. I'm certainly trying, right? Like a data issue. I hope so. Is it the audio? I hope not. All right. I hope it's not going to be a problem, but hopefully y'all can hear me. Do I sound like a robot? Is that what's going on? Let me know in the chat. All right. Tone, I've talked a lot here. Let's start like static slow connection. Oh man. Well, I hope it clears up. I apologize if we're having issues with that. Okay. Tony, my friend. Why don't you tell me, looking at this game, Commanders, Cardinals, let's start with we did a live stream on your channel and we talked about what we thought how we thought the game was going to play out. So start by telling me how the game played out in comparison to what you had anticipated.
Oh, it was nothing what I anticipated. I thought we were going to lose like 5 times.
Okay. You were worried.
Yeah, it definitely was spicy. I'm not gonna lie. Early it kind of was flowing. I thought I was gonna flow. A lot of defense, a lot of hard hitting. I did not know y'all were that physical. Goodness gracious. Hey, Kaiser White, you can cut that out. But in the Homeboy 95, I can't be doing wrestling moves on the football field, man. I mean, not stop that.
Let you
what the heck that was? What kind of janky crap they was doing? Don't forget to be investigated. I'm going to see what's up with him a little bit. But nonetheless, back to actual football. Definitely a lot more physical than I thought the game was going to be early. I was not expecting y'all to force 2 turnovers or 3 turnovers in the first half. That was very unexpected. They expect Antonio Gibson to fumble. He's just a fumbleitis. So I give up. But I was not expecting Howell to be strip sacked and to throw an interception in 2 or 3 of the possessions in the first half. But yeah, I definitely not expect that in the first half. A win for to be down 16-10 going to the fourth quarter. You guys play well, man. I was very impressed. Joshua Dobbs was not half bad. I badmouthed him all week, and he was not half bad. You guys were very creative play calling. Yeah. Outside of fumbles. But he's a backup. Like, come on. You can't do so much, right? I liked you guys' game plan. You guys were very, very your offensive coordinator called a really good game plan. With all the misdirections, the end arounds, all that stuff was very, very creative. I would say that definitely took us kind of off beat a little bit. So our linebackers are not good side to side. And you guys probably that was like, okay, cool. They can't run sideline to sideline. Let's run misdirection. And we're gonna get all these yards because their linebackers are not going to run across this field and stop anyone. They're not doing that. You get past the defensive line, we're gonna have a field day. That's what you guys did. A field day. Outside the time you didn't get past our defensive line. But once you got past the defensive line, it was like open season at that point, right? So
yeah, your defensive line was tough, and they all graded really well against us. Our offensive line struggled. Real quick, want to say hey to a couple folks. David, this season we're having the coveted 6-1 final score. He comments in the chats there, talk about like wanting to have a 4-4 tie. Also, Sean D, what's good? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you hanging out. Gardek with the German suplex, right? That was that sack he got, right? Defense played great. Agree. Cruz, Espero need like. If Kyler's starting that game, we win, right? You would agree that, right?
Oh yeah. If Kyler played in that game, the way Sam Howell played,
and the way our defense played, right?
But the way Howell played in that, no, we weren't winning that game.
Heck no. So, as a Cardinals fan, that gives us something to be optimistic about, right? That if and listen, Commanders, I know you guys are optimistic. A lot of people in the league think your team might not be great. It's early to tell, right? Sam Howell's a big pivotal thing in that. But like, if the Cardinals play defense like what you talked about, and Kyler comes back, I'm not saying this is a playoff team, Cardinal, but they're going to be frisky, right? Saltiest game and. Yo, real quick. Yo, what's up? Appreciate you being here, Salty. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay. So yeah, I think like you're right. Like when I was on your stream, we talked about this. If you remember, I feel like the game played out closer to what I thought it would be. Remember, I thought it would be a little bit tight. I think I predicted like 24-13 or 21-13. And it ended up being what, 2016?
24-13, yeah.
Okay, and it being 20-16, but the overall game was kind of like I predicted that we'd keep it closer than people thought, and then a couple breaks would go your way and you would win, right? And that's kind of what happened. Those breaks were Joshua Dobbs fumbling a bit, right? Yeah. But yeah, like the defense, and I've been saying this since the preseason, maybe, like the Cardinals defensive personnel needs, an infusion of talent, and that's going to happen over the draft in the next couple of years. But we saw in the preseason, they played well when the first string was out there. They seem to be a team that's well coached defensively, and they played tough. Like a lot of guys on the defensive line are no-name guys that are kind of reclamations and such, and they're trying to prove something.
Man. I like Xavier Collins. Man.
Yeah, but like they played tough. Yeah, for sure. Real quick, I'm gonna say to Jackie, she's she's feeling down under the weather, so she wasn't able to join us, but she's in the chat support, so appreciate you hanging out with us, right? But yeah, so it's interesting. Like this is Cardinals fans actually feel really good, even though it's a loss, because what we're seeing, right, is the Cardinals. Yeah, they're in a rebuild. Yeah, they lost, but we're seeing like the foundations of the future, the culture and the defense, right, starting to play out. What did you think of the game plan both ways?
Okay. I'm going to kind of start with the Cardinals offensive game plan was masterful.
Okay.
They knew our linebackers were slow as crap. They could not run sideline to side. Well, they're not slow. They are downhill linebackers. So we're not guys that can go sideline to sideline and stop and set the edge and run games with our linebackers. That's Jamin Davis and Cody Barton, those kind of guys. So you guys really attacked it with the end around, especially one with Hollywood Brown's a huge one. You guys had a nice balanced game plan with the run game. I think I might have thrown a little too much, probably, but nonetheless, I think it's a solid game plan offensively. Defensively, you guys just made plays. You guys just made plays. I didn't think the game plan was that great defensively. You guys just made plays. Like Xavier Collins is an animal.
Man,
you're adulterated animal. I tell you, animal. I'm like, this boy's having a field day over there. Dennis Gergat had a heck of a game too. I'm not gonna lie to you, heck of a ball game. Marco Wilson did a really good job on Terry McLaurin. I don't. A lot of Commanders fans don't want to hear that. He did a really good job on Terry McLaurin, but also Terry McLaurin had a couple of targets that could have been taken back. Sam Howell underthrown him the crap, but nonetheless, yeah, I think both game plans were solid. I do have to criticize Eric Bieniemy a little bit. At the end of the game, when we had the ball, our last possession, kind of suck it out. Kind of took the easy way out. I'm gonna run the ball, kick a field goal, hit on my defense. That's not gonna work all the time, man. You gotta be a little more aggressive. Guys, shut the door sometimes. Don't leave it ajar. Don't shut the door. Shut the door and lock it. Don't leave it ajar. Because boy, Josh Dobbs went out there, got a touchdown drive. A lot of people have been on Eric Bieniemy's behind. So just saying. Just saying. Gotta shut the door. And before the half, did not like that play call either. I like the fact that we got in field goal range, but we had 8 seconds left. There was a timeout left too. You're not going to take a shot at the end zone, buddy. Not one, just one. I'm not asking for multiple. Just ask for one. Just one. And if you don't get it, then go put Slag out there. Cool. But outside Eric Bieniemy's lack of aggression at times, I think both teams had a good game plan. And you guys execute Josh pretty well outside of Josh Wood.
Yeah. Real quick, a couple folks, Livewire Sports Media. What's good, bro? Appreciate you being here. Washington Commanders. Sound like guy next to you is cut is fresh. Aaron Van Buren, hello from Michigan. One of my good buddies who does this with us sometimes. Thanks for dropping in. Judy Dykema, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. The new culture is the best. This is the thing I think a lot of Cardinals fans are talking about, that we see the culture shift, right? And we're excited about that. And I'll tell you, I agree. Like, I think the Cardinals had the right game plan for this game. The game plan was do what they're going to do on defense, right? We'll play aggressive, try to get some turnovers, but also just do what they're planning to do. Be a good defensive team all across the board, what they did. Then on offense, they tried to run the ball and actually be conservative on offense, but also take advantage of those linebackers. And the game plan was Josh Dobbs, drive the bus, don't turn over the ball. The problem is in the execution, Josh Dobbs turned over the ball.
The ball over.
Right? Like, so the game plan, I think, was sound. The problem was the execution. Our offensive line struggled, okay? And that's because your defensive line is awesome, right? That's part of it. Our offensive line also just struggled in themselves. So like the game plan was right, but the execution, the offensive line struggled in execution, and our quarterback turned over the ball. So the game plan wasn't good enough to win, but it still kept us close, right? So like the game plan was spot on. Simon has a question for you, Tone. Which Washington players outperformed your expectations, both positively and negatively? Like, who over or I guess underperformed, right? Which players on Washington did better than you thought they would have and did worse?
Okay, so I only have one true overachiever. Most guys kind of played to my expectations. I got a few underachievers though. Antonio Gibson was horrible. Antonio Gibson was horrible. I'm tired of fumbles. I'm sick of it. I can't take it no more. He fumbled 6 times in 2021. Thank goodness he didn't fumble last year, but I'm tired. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do the fumbleitis no more. Hold on to the ball, like
Right.
bro, hold on to it. The ball is it's your lunch pail. You can't lose it. Stop doing that. Like you can't do that. You want to say Sam underperforming a little bit? Maybe, I guess. He's a young quarterback. You expect turnovers. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a clean game, but he's young. Second star in the league. I'm not going to sweat that one too hard. Logan Thomas was a huge disappointment. 3 drops. Ugh. Awful. Disgusting.
Yeah.
And a guy that kind of shined I want to see play more is Cole Turner. That's the one guy I kind of want to see. He had 2 targets, 2 catches. Both of them were a heck of a – the first was a heck of a catch. Sam just threw up to him. Just, bro, go get it. And he's like, oh, go get it? Give me that. I'm him. Get off. And the second one was just like, such a quick little out route. Just, give me that. But no, the first one was a heck of a catch.
Yeah.
I want to see more Cole Turner, less Logan Thomas. That's just me. I know a lot of Washington fans love Logan Thomas. And rightfully so. He had a heck of a year in 2020. We kind of made him a household name in a way because he wasn't really doing anything in Detroit as a tight end. But I don't see it with him anymore. He's not an explosive athlete. His hands are getting a little shaky now, and he doesn't feel like he's healthy anymore. So, he can't stay healthy. That is, So I would say overachievers for me. One is Cole Turner, and the other achievers for me are Antonio Gibson, Logan Thomas. I would say someone that I expected to play well, but play slightly better than I thought. Other than that, Cameron Crowe's an animal. Cameron Crowe's an animal.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's just an animal. Just animal. Just animal. And Sam Cobb had a good game, but I'm not surprised about Sam Cobb. So that's offensive line.
Yeah. So obviously this is a Cardinals live stream, so I'm going to lean more Cardinals and Commanders. So I got to ask you, like, who are some players on the Cardinals that you're like, man, I owe him an apology because I didn't know his game. I know you don't. I know you know the game, but who are people?
I'm gonna give a double O to my guy. Marco Wilson had a really good game. He was very impressive. I like the wacky. Even if he wasn't right in Terry's hip pocket, he wasn't too far. He didn't Terry had 5-6 yard separation or anything like that. That's hard because Terry McLaurin's a hard matchup. I don't care what anyone says. Terry McLaurin's a dog, certified dog, top 10 receiver in the league. It's hard. It's hard to check a guy like that for 60 minutes.
Much respect. Terry McLaurin's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
I love Terry. So he played better than I thought. Xavier Collins is an animal. He's an animal. I was like, bro, this dude is. I knew he was super athletic and he had all this talent, but it just never came together. It's starting to come together now, and I'm like, oh crap, this dude is an animal. And the other guy that I was very impressed with, who's that receiver? Not Hollywood Brown.
Was it Rondale Moore or Michael Wilson? Rondale Moore had that.
Michael Wilson had a decent really nice catch in the beginning of the second half.
Was it Rondale Moore?
I love Rondale Moore. I nothing bad to say about Rondale Moore. He's awesome. He's very.
He just needs to stay healthy. That's the only thing with him.
Yeah, just gotta stay healthy. Hollywood's Hollywood. No surprises. I like Trey McBride. That's another guy I was very interested in. I know you guys have Zach Ertz, and Ertz is borderline Hall of Fame tight end. Just love Zach Ertz, but I was very, very surprised about Trey McBride. He looks the part. Oh, what is he? He looks the part.
Yeah.
Great in the run game blocking. I think he's a very sneaky pass catcher. I like Trey McBride. I can't say much about it.
So I do too. So Trey McBride, he's a second round pick, right? And people forget that he was considered the top tight end prospect in that class when he was coming out, at least coming in. Now there might be some people who are better than him as it turns out, but it's his second year. He struggled a little bit last year, and some people were down on him, but like tight ends always take a year or two to kind of develop. So like this is like, if you think about what you expect from a typical tight end, this is the year you would expect to see that progress. And he's got all this. He reminds me a lot of Zach Ertz in terms of the way he plays too, a little bit. But Zach Ertz is, he's a vet. I don't know how long he's going to play, but we're optimistic about McBride's future. You mentioned, Marco Wilson, Mark saying, played almost like a cornerback one. And, I think people outside of Arizona don't necessarily they don't know Marco Wilson, or they don't know how good he's becoming, because, right. Like people were talking about the Cardinals. I've heard national media folks saying that, that we have a horrible cornerback room. And we were talking about this on your stream, right? It's an unheralded cornerback room. It's a young cornerback room, with the exception of Antonio Hamilton. It's a cornerback room people don't know about, and it might not be the greatest because they're young, but like there's some talent in there. And Marco Wilson's a guy coming out. They got him in the 4th round. He slipped because of a couple of different things, but like his physical tools are elite. He's got the speeds, jumping, all the stuff to be an elite cornerback. He just needed to put it together. And he got better and better. And last year, like second half of the season, his PFF grades were really good. And, he's gotten better. And I think this game was against a great receiver who, how good McLaurin is. And I've got a ton of respect for McLaurin. Like, that showed you something, right? So I think
he had a couple of nice sticky snaps versus Han too. He was kind of sticky on Jahan Dotson as well. So he wasn't just on one receiver. He was moving around, checking other receivers and doing a good job.
Yeah,
he did get caught napping one time.
It's gonna happen.
And luckily, Sam did, bro. De'Ami Brown caught that boy napping. And I said, "Oh shoot, there he is! Throw it to him!" I was like, "No, Sam, no." It was the first down of Jahan, but I was like, Eckerman is 75-yarder the other way. Like, I was like, "No, Sam, no." Yeah, that's the time Marco got caught napping Sunday. He had a really good game overall.
Yeah,
and it didn't count because he ain't thrown to him. So
yeah, for sure. So if you were a Cardinals fan, like what would you kind of want to see this team take as some of the next steps in trying to kind of build on what was, at least a game where there were some good things to pull out of it? Like if you're a Cardinals fan, what are you wanting to see in the coming weeks?
Just staying competitive, number one. I don't know who you guys play this. If you play the Giants this week, right? Now play NFC East team. I'm more certain you do.
Gosh, I guess I should know that, right? We play the Giants. Yep. So
I hope y'all beat them. I swear.
So do I.
I hope y'all beat them. I would love to see the Giants be 0-2. I'm tired of Giants fans. A quick tangent.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows a Giants fan, tell them to shut up. They suck.
I know a few.
They're trash. No,
okay. Yeah.
My apologies.
No, have you seen have you seen there was a tweet that went around that someone said Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in his draft class, better than Kyler. This isn't even a debate anymore. And really? I'm yeah, right. Talking about a freezing cold take, right? Right. Icy cold. Well, that's that. Then after getting, losing 40-0,
getting dismantled on national television.
You might want to reconsider that take.
I had a Giants fan. I watching his channel. Shout out to Bad Dog Sports. It's one of the very few Giant creators I watch. And he said it like this. He said, "We got obliterated, we got dismantled, and we got emasculated on national television."
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's bad. When you use the word emasculated, it's getting bad.
Yeah.
But back to the Cardinals, I want you guys to kind of build on it by just continue to play good physical defense. No, no more Kaiser White hits, okay? Cut those out.
Only in inbounds
and wrestling moves. Y'all cut those things out, but keep playing physical defense. I think I like how you guys play defense. You guys are physical. You guys are pressing the line of scrimmage. You guys aren't scared or anything. You're not fearful of any team. I like that. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
Continue to progress where Xavier Collins is, because Xavier Collins is going to be an animal. He keeps doing what he's doing. He's an animal. So continue to let him progress and just let him play. Like, just don't try to put him in a box. Just see what he could do well, what he can do well. I think he's super versatile. I think he can get to the quarterback. I think he can cover a little bit too. Just super versatile defensive player there in Xavier Collins. And that's for offensively. I just want to see how these receivers around Hollywood Brown progresses, because guys don't have a true one right now. I think Hollywood could be a true one, but probably like a low end one. But nonetheless, see who's your true number 2 receiver behind Hollywood. Is it Rondell Moore? Is it Michael Wilson? Who is it?
Yeah.
And I want to see Trey McBride continue to progress. I just love seeing what Trey McBride can do. And Jonathan Gallen just keep putting his imprint on this team. That's the number one thing I want to see. Him continue to put his imprint on this team with his leadership qualities and his culture building. I want to continue to see that and continue to see this team fight. Like, don't quit. Don't have any ill will in your blood. Just fight. Just fight till you can't fight no more. Don't have no quitting you. Don't have no the B word in you. None of that. Just fight. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hand up to you. Okay. We can't be doing that. I know that it's going to struggle this year. Wins are going to be hard to come by, but keep fighting. Keep fighting, man.
Yeah.
But that's why I want to see the culture build and continue to build.
Yeah, that makes sense. So real quick, violence, baby, right? You know, the way they play defense.
Y'all a little too violent. All right. Not WWE. It's the NFL. Chill.
You see you saw Lecky Focci number 95, the one where you saw the one where like he's got the guy and he's like puts his leg around his head and knocks did you see that one? There's a clip of it. That was
he grabbed Al by his legs and what the heck is that?
Yeah.
I was like, Jonathan Gallen needs to be investigated now. Investigate him now.
Mark Jackson saying Ertz is the number 2 receiver right now. He probably is. Like, that's the guy they want to they're kind of targeting, the veteran tight end. And I'll say, like, I'm not
gonna lie. I kind of wanted to I love Zach Ertz. It's kind of something says on my mouth, but I kind of want to phase him out the offense. Yeah. I really think that's someone y'all need to move. Zach Ertz. And let it be the Trey McBride show. Why not? Yeah. Where are and it's no offense. Joe, it's not no offense. Where are the Cardinals going this year? Honestly.
Yeah.
If Tyler's out to like freaking November, where are the Cardinals going? Where? So there's we need to see these young guys. We need to see boy Trey McBride, less Zach Ertz. And if you can get something for him, do that and let it be the Trey McBride show. Why not? You need to find out what you have in him. I like him. I think he's a tight end one in this league. I really do.
Yeah.
He has all the qualities, the speed, the route running ability, the hands. He has everything to be a tight end one. Just give him the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
Why not?
So I'm with you. I like McBride a lot. And, and certainly Dana Zatt mentioned that, she was surprised that he was so limited in snap counts, right? So, okay, I'm going to attempt to answer why I think they're playing Ertz more. And I get what you're saying. And I want to see more McBride. I want to see young players. So this is why I think they're doing it. I'm not necessarily saying I do or don't agree with this. Okay. But this is what I think they're rational. Despite what people are saying in the media, the Cardinals are trying to win games.
Facts.
Okay. People want to talk about the whole kind of tanking narrative. And I think that's a very surface narrative. Football teams are trying to win. Yeah, they're doing a rebuild, and the roster is one that's not equipped to really be a playoff team. So they're going to inevitably have a losing record, but they're not trying to actively lose games. And I think the coaching staff believes that with the game plan against the Washington Commanders, their best chance to win was playing good defense, trying to make as few mistakes as possible in offense. And Zach Ertz is a veteran, and he was the veteran savvy, and he still can play. Was the featuring him more to them was the best chance to win. And I'll tell you what, I actually think that's probably accurate. It didn't play out that way, but like if you're playing a close to your vest, conservative game plan, a veteran tight end who knows what he's doing has a better chance of making something happen, the right thing happen. Okay. And I think that's why they did that. Jack, real quick, Jack saying win games with shot jobs. I think
everyone has hope. Everyone's 0-0. What the heck, that one?
I want to respond to this.
17?
Jack here is not understanding the point I'm making. I get that they're not trying. This roster is not built to be a contending team at all. So yes, they're starting a quarterback who is a backup, and no, they're not like expecting they're going. Well, I think they're realistic. No, they're not a playoff team, but there's a difference between knowing you're not a playoff team and not trying to win. They are trying to win the game the best they can with who they have, the game plan they have, and whoever they have that's healthy and on the roster. Now, I get what you're saying. Should they have had a different quarterback than him? Of course. I wanted them to get Jacoby Brissett in the offseason. Rumor is they were interested and he didn't want to sign here. It's a two-way street. So, Jack, I think you're missing the point. In their meetings, they are trying to win the game. When they decide which players on their roster they're going to field and who they're going to feature, they're trying to win the game. And yes, Josh Dobbs ain't great. I get it. But they believed, because he's been in the system and he's a veteran, okay, that between him and Tune, they believe that was their better chance to win with the players they have. Now, what they're not going to do is go spend a bunch of money or go trade tons of draft capital, although, trading a 5th round for Dobbs was certainly questionable, and try to bring in someone who's a little bit better just to, whatever. They're going to try to win with who they have. Right. So I think, again, there's nuance in that, Jack. So if you're not getting that, sorry, can't help you. But
I get what you're saying.
But Ertz playing, I think featuring Ertz was because they felt that was a better chance to win. And it's actually, as much as it's not, we want to see McBride develop in the long run, to win the game this week, Ertz kind of emphasizing him was the right answer for that. But now the question is that strategy the right answer versus playing McBride more to develop him more? Because that's a fair point, right? Like if you're trying to win this game, featuring Ertz is the right answer. If you're trying to, there's an argument to be made that featuring McBride is the better plan for the long run.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll let you jump back in. Sorry.
Yeah. My thing with featuring Ertz is declining. Let's call it what it is. Mm-hmm. Zach Ertz is not the same Zach Ertz in Philadelphia. We're gonna call a spade a spade. Now, is Zach Ertz still a top 15, 20 tight end? Mm-hmm. Arguably, when healthy, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think Trey McBride has a higher ceiling right now than Zach Ertz has. Zach Ertz keeps getting hurt. He's not the same guy anymore. He just seems like he's not healthy, and when he is healthy, he's just not as productive. So I honestly think probably the better choice is to play McBride because the higher ceiling now is a slower floor. Yes, but why can't you feature both of them too? That's another thing I want to bring up. Play more 2 tight end sets. Why can't you just feature both of them? You're kind of lacking a little bit in the receiver room. So playing 2-2-1 with 5 of us alignment and a quarterback is not a bad idea. Yeah. Playing single back with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers is not a horrible idea. So
real quick, I think people listen, Josh Dobbs is a backup. Listen, let me be clear. He's a journeyman for a reason. Let me be clear. I don't think Josh Dobbs is a great quarterback or a starting quarterback. Jack, Colt McCoy did an amazing job. He was, but I'm telling you, he had an injury in the offseason. He shouldn't be starting week 1 because he had an injury this offseason and they gave him he lost something. So if maybe you didn't follow that story, but like McBride or Colt McCoy wasn't recovered he'd lost something on his arm from that injury this offseason, and that's why he's not here. I think they wanted him to be able to start, but it just wasn't working. So listen, I'm not saying Josh Dobbs is a good quarterback. He's a backup. That's what he is. He's a backup. And he's not great. Between him and Tune, I do think if they were playing a conservative offensive game plan where they're trying to just drive the bus, Dobbs was going into the game the better choice. Tune has higher upside, but doesn't have as much experience. And listen, I get it. The most popular player on the team is always the backup quarterback, especially when you're losing. I get that Tune is more exciting and people want to see him, and I would have loved to have seen him. And I get it's easy and to take pot shots at a backup quarterback, Josh Dobbs, and he isn't great. But if you're the Cardinals coaches, Dobbs was the guy who knew the system.
Best chance to win.
Yeah.
And you can't assume a team is tanking because their roster isn't good. They want to win football games. They want to put good tape out there. You think these other 52, 53 guys don't want to put good tape out there, knowing they probably won't be there next year, and they want to put good tape out there so another team can pick them up? You think they want to sit there and lose and get blown out every week? No.
Yeah.
No. There's too much pride in that. They're not going to do that. So obviously they're going to play the best quarterback with the best chance to win right now. And the best chance to win right now is Joshua Dobbs. Yeah. Now, week 5, you're 0-5, and you're like, all right, look, bro, we got to just go ahead and evaluate the roster. If it's that way, then that's when you expect the Clayton Tunes and expect Zach Ertz to get traded and all that type of stuff.
I'd even add
it's week 2.
I'd even add 5 weeks in, Clayton Tunes got that much more time in practice, and maybe he's closer to being ready. So even that. Let me real quick, I want to say hey to Paul. Even thanks for being here. And I want to say hey to Lance who dropped in here. And I think Lance is Lance, I think you got a good point here. I trust that the coaches have seen both. They obviously trust Ertz more right for now. So let me just, and again, I want to just bang this drum just a little bit. As fans, McBride's more exciting. As fans, Tune's more exciting, right? And they have better futures or I should say, well, Ertz had a pretty great career, but like McBride's the answer long term. But and that's the exciting thing, and that's the thing we're drawn to as a fan. But like, coaches see what happens in practice, and in practice, as talented as McBride is, and as high as the upside is, Ertz has got that veteran staff. He's seen it all, and Ertz in practice is doing the little things that McBride's still learning, right? And he just knows all those little things. And those veterans, even if they've lost a step, there's a point where they're still that better option. And when they're no longer, that's when we start to see that kind of pendulum shift. And, so listen, when it comes to who you're playing, there's points where I kind of question why certain players are playing or whatever, but at the same time, coaches see that all the time. So, but I want to see more McBride. I think you make a good point about seeing more 2 tight end sets, and I think they are going to be doing that some. But real quick, let me say to a couple of folks, Boston Fort Bird Gang, this killer Metallica shirt. Hey, Bird Gang loves your shirt, man. I do too, by the way. Love that. Thanks for being here. And let's see, David Scott, thanks for hanging out with us. Arizona checking out the defense. They made the Commanders work. Thank you for that. Yeah.
That's my guy. That's my guy from our we have a podcast with him, our friend Dio. It's called DT Football Podcast with some of our college buddies we also. Shout out to Dave, man. Appreciate that for the support. And subscribe to my man Joe. You ain't done so, man. Appreciate that for sure. Shout out to Mark for the compliment on the shirt. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mark loves it too. So awesome. Listen, Paul saying TCR Tune is not exciting to me. He just earned the right to play. Being in camp was ready to go. I thought he had his moments, but I wasn't as convinced as you were, Paul, because he was playing a lot, but he played a lot against second and third stringers, and there were moments that were good. I liked some things I saw. I wasn't as sold on that he was ready as other people are, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Jay Green, thanks for being here late, but here, appreciate you being here. So, okay. So I agree though, that those players are kind of the future. I love what I've seen in McBride. I want to see more. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because if Dobbs didn't have those fumbles, we might have won, and people might be talking about how, you know what, he drove the bus, right? So,
and you can say the same thing with Antonio Gibson's fumble.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you go
and
14-6. What happens then? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's always woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? So, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sorry.
With how does it fumble to the end of that?
Yeah.
Like,
so, and this is I'm more bringing that up in terms of the narratives about Dobbs in particular, because if he doesn't fumble and the Cardinals win, people aren't as down on Dobbs, right? Like, okay, it worked, right?
That bad after all.
But the fumbles happened. But the fumbles did happen. They didn't. You have to acknowledge it happened. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this next week, right? So, all right. So, give us a little matchup here. You follow the NFL widely. What do you think for the Cardinals going against the Giants this week? Okay. And real quick, and Jack, this I agree with you. Steve Keim is no longer the GM. That is the one unifying principle for all Cardinals fans. We all can feel good about that for the most part, right? Mark, thanks for being here. Appreciate you hanging out here with us. So yeah. So Cardinals, Giants. What do you think is the Cardinals' key if they want to win against the Giants?
I'll tell you a page out the Cowboys book. I will literally take Saquon Barkley away and make Daniel Jones beat me. That's exactly what he did. He said, all right, Saquon, we're tired of this. The first round, they ran down their throats. We had enough. We had enough of this. And they had a miscue with the snap, too. Kind of did help them a bit. But once they took Saquon Barkley away, we saw what that offense looked like. A big ASS goose egg. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. No movement, no nothing. Just total annihilation. But the Cowboys defense, give them credit. They're incredible, but nonetheless. I think if you guys can take Saquon Barkley away from the Giants, make Daniel Jones beat you, and kind of bracket Darren Waller, I'm doubling Waller. I will tip my cap if Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt. I like Jalen Hyatt, by the way. I'm a big Jalen Hyatt guy. And I would say, Sterling Shepard, Jalen Hyatt, and Darius Slayton. Make them beat me. Make them, Isaiah Hodgins, make them beat me. If they beat me, I tip my cap to you. But Saquon Barkley, 2-6, no, sir. I will put 8 men in the box. No. You beat me, Darius Slayton, Mr. Ironclad Hands. Can't catch a soul. Can't catch COVID in a hospital.
Oof.
I had the typical one, but I can't say typical one.
Yeah.
Can't catch you know what and the you know what.
Okay. Well, we'll just
we'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
The C word and a WH.
Yeah.
We'll leave it like that. You know what that is. You know what.
Yeah, we keep it a little family friendly here, so we'll leave it at that.
Exactly right. So can't catch COVID in the hospital. Can't catch water in your face. Can't catch.
He's not good with the hand.
Let him beat me. Let Jalen Hyatt, the rookie, beat me. Let Sterling Shepard. I always get hurt. Beat me. Let them beat me. I'm not letting Saquon Barkley and Darren Waller have a freaking field day. No.
Yeah. Absolutely
not. No.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Just ain't gonna daggone revenge. The Giants gonna lose. Screw that.
Yeah. It's gonna be the revenge game, Isaiah Simmons revenge game, right? So yeah. So
oh my gosh. That super chat's hilarious. No, stop.
First
that.
of all,
no.
Cruz is a really great supporter of the channel. He's channel member, got a TCR t-shirt, esports. If Dobbs won the game the way these fans are, they would say he's been listen. There were some fans who were like, maybe Colt McCoy should be our starter even when Kyler comes back, like last year. And like Colt McCoy, like he had his moments, but like, yeah, there are some fans who just don't get it, I guess. But yeah, right.
I'm flabbergasted. But I'm listening.
Yeah. So it's,
Wow.
some fans just, fans gonna fan, right? Sometimes. But
Yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah. Just like
Cruz, thank you
Commander
for the
said,
super chat.
before we chat
Yeah.
after a victory.
Yeah. Cruz, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you and your support. Thank you so much. Yeah, please drop Simmons into coverage. Giants. Yeah, right. Tune a true DMV guy. Love the energy, my guy. Tone a true DMV. Okay, yeah, okay. Tone loves
Oh
your.
yeah,
Corey loves your energy. Is what saying,
I
right?
mean, I appreciate that, man. I live in the DMV, man. I live in DC actually, so for sure.
Okay.
I got bring the DMV energy.
Dude, Tone, you bring the energy. That's for sure, no doubt. So yeah. So okay, yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, Saquon is the gear that keeps makes that thing go, right? You need to pull him out of the machine, and if you can pull that gear out of the machine, the whole thing breaks down. And then Waller is the second part of that, right? And if you can do that, Daniel Jones again with those receivers, if they beat you, like you say, tip my hat to you, right? So for sure. Yeah, and then Paul's saying McCoy ended up with the noodle arm of Kevin Cobb, right? That's for sure.
The noodle arm of Taylor Heineke. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So we're gonna bring this thing in for a landing here. So Tone, what I want you to do is just kind of give us your final thoughts on what you saw from the Cardinals, and then tell everyone where they can find you and what they can expect if they check out your content.
Okay, cool. So, give my final thoughts of what I saw from the Cardinals. So I saw physicality. I saw a culture change coming around. I saw a team that didn't want to quit. I saw a team that was trying to scratch and claw and bite for every single yard, every single play. And I saw a team with some talent. The Arizona Cardinals are not devoid of talent. Xavier Collins is a heck of a football player. You still have Buda Baker. I like Hollywood Brown. Rondell Moore is no slouch.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, something like he can kind of work on and kind of mold into a mold of clay of your choice. He has the size, like he can hop on the football pretty well. He's a very interesting player to keep your eye on. Paris Johnson Jr. had a decent game on Sunday, actually. I like what you guys are building. You guys can kind of definitely need to continue to build an offensive line. James Conner is still a dog. And when Kyler comes back, you can really see what this roster really has to offer. But continue to fight while Kyler is hurt. And once Kyler does return, you can really evaluate your roster and really try to see what you have. You guys can find me at you can find me the PSN Commanders Network on YouTube. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Protest Sports Network _. And you can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Darn app.
I'm gonna call it Twitter forever. It's always Twitter for me.
The talking app. We call it the talking app. You can find me on X at PSN 042893. And you can find my second channel is the Life of Tone. If you guys like vlogging, fashion content, let's see more Metallica shirts. Nice. You can go ahead and find me at a lot, which is ALOT with periods after each letter. You can find that on YouTube, and follow that Instagram page at Life of Tone _. And my personal page is Tony _BFE on Instagram. So find me a lot of places. You can find me at. And I'm not too far to find.
Awesome. I'm going to get your links in the description. They're not there just yet, but if you're watching this on the replay, they should be there. So I'll get all your links in there, Tony. Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate you. You're just a good dude. I always enjoy hanging out with you, man. You bring the energy, but you bring the knowledge, and you're just a good guy. Real quick, my kind of shout outs. If you missed this at the beginning, I'm starting a new weekly live stream. And that live stream is called Making the Grade. It's normally going to be on Monday nights, but this week it's going to be tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Arizona time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I've got Blake Murphy as my guest on the show tomorrow. And the whole premise of this is we're going to look at some of the PFF grades from some of the players from the recent game and dive in and look at what story do the data tell us, right? What are we seeing in the grades and what does it tell us about how players are trending, what's going on, kind of a little bit of a deep dive into the grades. So if you like the analytics side of things, you like kind of looking at those things, you're going to enjoy this. So make sure you check it out. I've got the live stream already up on the channel for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about this. This is my wheelhouse, like the analytics stuff. So I'm going to lean into that. And we're going to be doing this every week. Real quick. Oh, Cruz, we'll get you your last question. I think you maybe even asked John Michael Schmitz. Well, let me start by saying my John Michael Schmitz, because you brought it up, right? I do think I have to at least play this one time. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? For Mock Draft Monday, okay? Y'all remember this. Here we go. John Michael, he's our center Schmitz. His name's on my draft too. No matter what they say, this mock is a-okay. It's got John Michael, he's our center Schmitz. Had you not seen that, Tony? Had you not seen that? Did you not see that before?
I've seen it before. I just hadn't seen it in a while.
You know, that was me singing that, right? I recorded that. It was a karaoke track, right? We did that through Mock Draft Monday. John Michael Schmitz had, I looked at his PFF grade. It was like 43 point something. So he had a rough game. I think someone asked earlier, Yelda Froholt, how did he compare? Our center had a PF grade around 48, I think. So, you know, John Michael Schmitz had a rough first game. He's a rookie. It'll happen, right? So, you know, so real quick, I want to say hey to Ilona. Thank you for being here. Really kind Seahawks fan who drops in here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Keith, thanks for dropping here. Tanking doesn't mean players not trying. It means organizations not doing everything possible to win. Dobbs, 20 Cap 6, not really trying to win. I mean, you know, the players are trying to win. There's a larger. I will say this. I'm not going to get into that right now.
Players are trying to win.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I'm going to be recording a podcast next week with Walter Mitchell and Kyle Ledbetter from the Take It Easy podcast. And we're going to talk about that whole tanking versus rebuilding and this. So when that drops, we haven't recorded yet. I'll get that link out there because we're going to dive into that conversation a lot more. So Grand Eyes, thanks for being here. Thanks for dropping the links. Appreciate you.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Don't cheat PF. He was 42.8 there. Thank you Paul for checking on that. Yeah. I was kind of going off memory. I rounded up maybe just a little bit. So, yeah. All right. Thank you all for being here. Tony, thank you again. Dude, no I appreciate it.
Jack, man. They said be safe. I'm not gonna get shot at Ben Chillibo, okay? I'll be okay. I'm not gonna get shot at Ben Chillibo, okay? We're not doing that. Okay? I'll be safe. Right. And thank you, Paul, for thanking me as well. This is fun.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw up on the, you know, kind of my shout outs to my channel members, and we're going to get out of here. But we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace out.
Hey, yo, it's Joe. He's the host of Mock Draft Monday on the